Hello everyone, good evening. Oh, but hello, good afternoon. So, how all of you are doing? Are you fine? Okay, good afternoon, good afternoon. So, because of some technical reasons, I could not take class for the last 3 days, and on Friday also the class that we had there we could not end that class because of some technical issue. So, hopefully, we'll do it today. Okay. So I'm just going to wait for like 1 or 2 minutes. Once everyone joins, then we can continue. Hello, Lucky. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, I think we should start with our class. So in our last class, we discussed about functions, and in the end, we could not wind up that session. So we'll do it at the end of our class. Okay, at the end, we are going to finish this part. Let's start with matplot library today. We have finished with almost every basic concept and basic syntax about Python. Now let's start with the library, matplot library. Matplot library, after reading it, we are going to start with our numerical methods. So maybe from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start with our numerical methods, and tomorrow I'll give you a brief description about the bisection method. How do we do it manually, and then how do we do it using our code. Okay, so let's proceed further. So today we'll be talking about matplot library. Okay, so in Python, as you know, there are a lot of inbuilt libraries. तो वहाँ पे already libraries हैं and we just need to access them. Okay, so matplot, and we are going to study all about the syntax so that हम उसे use कर पाएँ Python में. And simply I'll tell you some things about this matplot library. तो matplot library जो है हमारे पास, matplot library, we write it like this. अभी हम syntax पढ़ेंगे, then we'll get to know. So the matplot library, this is useful for making plots. Okay, this is useful for making plots, because as you know, you have the values for x and then you have the values for y, so you always draw a graph between x and y, and you try to draw a graph, since you all are mathematics students, so you know that graph gives a lot of information to us about the plot, about the function. So this is what matplot library is all about. It gives us beautiful plots about the data that we give it to. Okay, so the important thing is that we already have this library in Python, but we need to access this library. So for accessing this library, we have to write import. Okay, we have to import this library from Python. So we write import matplotlib. Okay, and आपको कोई भी यहाँ पे space नहीं देना है, like matplotlib directly, then dot pyplot as plt. Okay, so bar we are going to not write matplotlib library. Okay, simply you just access, or you just imported your matplot library in plt, so that we can use that plt again and again. Okay, now what we have to do. Okay, for you can write here that importing matplot library. Here you can write we are importing matplot library. Now, how we are going to use it? We are going to see it in a simple code. We have again a library which is a NumPy library, but we are not going to study because we are not going to use it a lot. So for importing that library, you have to say import NumPy array. We will study when we will start with machine learning. So we have to import this NumPy, and we are importing it in NP. So instead of writing this NumPy again and again, we are simply going to write NP. So we have imported NumPy in NP. Okay, so for NP, that is for NumPy, we are going to see another lecture. But for now, if I want the values for X and Y, okay, if I want values for X, okay, so since you have imported NumPy in NP, so you are going to say NP dot, ठीक है, and suppose मैंने यहाँ पे लिख दिया linspace, okay, and I took here 0, 10, 100. I will explain you about what is this linspaces and all that. तो यहाँ पे हमें x की values मिल जाएंगी, ठीक है, and then what is going to happen, अब now I want what, I want the value for y, so I'm going to write np dot sin x, ठीक है, साइन, और यहाँ पे हमने x डाल दिया. तो इसका क्या मतलब है, that y is going to be a numpy array, np dot numpy array which takes the sign value for x, ठीक है. In a similar way you can take here np dot cos x, so it is going to take the values for cosine of x, so this is np dot cos x, okay, and then you can simply print these values to see, and then we have to understand how can we plot the graph for x and y and for x and z, okay. So without wasting our time, let's just directly go to the our Jupyter notebook, okay, so that we can simply start without wasting our time. All right, so now we are here. So as I told you that we have to import numpy, okay, sorry, import numpy, yeah, as np, and then what we have to do, we have to import here matplotlib, okay, dot pyplot as what, as plt, ठीक है. And then what we did, we took the value, so I wrote here x is equals to np dot linspace, and I'm going to tell you what is this linspace function is, okay. So once we will study about numpy, so this is np dot linspace, and I gave here 0, 10, and then it gave, suppose I'm writing here 100. I'll explain you what this linspace is right over here, but just write down the code for time being. And then I'm going taking the sign values for x, okay, in y variable, and then I am taking the cosine variable, cosine values for x in the variable z. And now you see, if I'm going to print x, see what happens, okay. It's taking a little bit of time, no problem. Building the front go, okay, no problem. So we'll just wait. Name z is not defined. Oh, there is an error. It should be x. Okay. Now you see here, we have got 100 values between 0 and 10. So I hope now you have understood the linspace function. So linspace function, if I'm going to write a comma b, then it gives me the values between a and b, and the third value represents the number of values that you want in between a and b. Okay, so this linspace gives 100 values. Let me write it down over here. Gives okay, linspace function gives 100 values between 0 and 10. Okay, I hope it's fine with everyone now. Between 0 and 10, ठीक है. तो ये print in a similar way, अगर आप देखोगे, since x we have 100 values for x, obviously we'll have 100 values for y, and we'll have 100 values for z. Now our focus is not on getting the values. Our focus is basically on plotting the graph. So now I am going to tell you the exact syntax if you want to plot the graph between x and y and x and z, okay. So let me write here plotting our data that we got in form of x, y and z. So simply you have to write plt dot plot. And why are you writing here plt? Because you have imported your matplot library in plt. So if you might have write here pt, then you will say pt dot plot. If you are going to write here, suppose you are going to write here pl, then you will say pl dot plot. Okay, so this is plt dot plot, and here for example you want to get the graph in between x and y. Okay, now this plt dot plot will simply give you the plot between the variable x and y, but you want to mention that you know that in graph, whenever you draw graph, you mention okay, what are the values in the x axis, what are the values in the y axis, so you give label, right? So you have to also give label so that the user, or when whosoever looks at your graph, he or she understands okay, these are the x values are representing what. Okay, suppose here we are giving angle. Okay, and now what we are going to do, we have given our y label, and y label are, suppose we say, sine values. Okay, these are sine values. And now you also want to give a title. Okay, title like I am giving a graph for population, I am giving a graph for number of citizens, or I am giving a graph for diseases. Okay, so what is the name, why have you drawn that plot? So we have to give the title if you want to. So plt dot title, and suppose I am giving here sine wave. Okay, sine wave, that is I'm drawing the sine wave. And now plt dot show will actually show you the plot. Okay, so let's just run it. Now you see here, you have this, see, this is our x label. Okay, so it means these 0 2 4 6 8 10 are representing the angle, and these values on y axis are actually the sine values of x. And title is what this curve represents, this is a sine curve. Okay, hope it is understood. This is our matplot library. Quite simple. Linspace function was new for you, so I have written here how does it work. Okay. Now you see one more thing. If you want to draw the graph between what? Between x and z. So you can again write the same thing. Okay. plt dot plot to here. And now you just write it over here, and now this time you want a graph between x and z, so you are going to write plt dot plot xz, then x label is angle, y label are sine values, so no, they are not sine, they are cosine values. Okay, so you are going to write cosine values, and this is cosine wave. All right, so cosine wave. And now let's just run it. Okay, there is okay, now let's just run it, and here you are going to see okay, this is the graph. And since you all are mathematics students, you already know this is the graph of cos x and this is the graph of sin x. Yeah, so this is what I'm telling you, that till now you have been doing all these works manually. Like you have a pen, you have a paper, and you used to draw these curves to see how this works or how this function looks like. But this time now you have to simply code to see the graph. Okay, so this is what matplot library does. It gives you the plots of different functions or different values or different data that you put in. Okay, so we have drawn for like this. Now suppose if somebody wants to draw the graph of a parabola. Okay, so you have to give the x values. So suppose I am giving you np dot linspace. Okay, and this time I am giving like from minus 10 to 10, and suppose I want 20 values, total 20 values, and y is simply x square. Now I want a parabola, so x square, I told you when I told you about the exponent operator, that you have to use this double multiplication sign, or you can simply write x into x, or you can use this double into so that it becomes x square. Okay, now you have to write down the same line, plt dot plot xy, and this is angle, or यहाँ पे simply you can put x, and here you can simply put that these are the y values, and title should be a parabola. Okay, so let's give here parabola, and now see if I'm going to run this program, what happens. And I'll tell you one more thing. See, this is a parabola, and x square is equal to y is the parabola that we draw in mathematics. Yeah, it is taking 20 values between minus 10 to 10, and corresponding y values are here, and we have drawn the parabola, and title of the graph is parabola. Okay, now you must be observing one thing, that in all three graphs that I have plotted right now, you can see that the wave or the color of the graph is blue, right? And it is just simply a line, or that is a regular line or regular curve. But you can also change the color. Okay, you can also change the color. How we are gonna do it, let's see it here. Suppose I'm writing it here. If you want to give a different color, okay, by default this is going to be of blue color, but if you are drawing two curves at a time, okay, I'll show you how we'll do it. लाइक यहाँ पे सिर्फ हमने एक ही ग्राफ को ड्रॉ किया है एक प्लॉट में, बट आप दो ग्राफ ड्रॉ करना चाहो एक ही प्लॉट में, तो दे शुड बी ऑफ डिफरेंट कलर, राइट, सो दैट आप देख पाओ कि ओके व्हाट्स हैपनिंग. सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज, सी, यहाँ पे जहाँ पे आपने लिखा हुआ है plt.plot between x and y, वहीं पे सिंपली इफ यू आर गोइंग टू गिव इन सिंगल कोट्स, ओके, आई एम टेलिंग यू इन सिंगल कोट्स, अगर आपने r प्लस लिख दिया, ओके, r प्लस लिखा है, तो इट मीन्स द प्लॉट और द ग्राफ वुड बी इन द रेड कलर, और वहां पे ये रेगुलर लाइन ना आके वो प्लस सिंबल से बनाएगा. सी, आई एम गोइंग टू ड्रॉ इट हियर फॉर यू. नाउ यू सी हियर. यस, अगर आप यहाँ पे डॉट्स लिख दोगे, या सपोज आपने एस्ट्रिक का सिंबल बना दिया, तो नाउ let's see, it is going to give you the graph in asterisk. So this is because you know, you should be knowing how to play with all these things, because in future when you will be working on different projects and you will find out your results, then you need to compare the results. So comparing the results becomes easy when they are on the same plot. So, but to look them different, to make them look different, you have to use such kind of things, and you have to be little bit creative, so that whosoever looks at your results can easily compare, okay, what's going on and what is the difference. I hope that makes sense to you. So that's how you can do it. All right, hope that's okay to everyone. Please let me know if it is okay for everyone. Now you see here, if I want to plot two graphs at the same time, ठीक है, तो सपोज करो यहाँ पे हमने z वैल्यूज ली, एंड दैट आर np dot sine. Okay, let's take for example sin x, and if I am going to write here plt dot plot, हम दो ग्राफ्स जो हैं वो एक ही में अगर हम ड्रॉ करना चाहें, and at that time let's say we are, okay, let's hide it for some time, title, and then I'll show you how it works. plt.plot, and then I gave here x comma z. So if I'm going to run, see if it throws some error. Can you see it? Now the two graphs are on the same plot. Yeah, or we can say the two plots are on the same graph. You can do one thing, instead of giving it this, you can also give it like a line. Let's see if it runs. So they both are, by default it is already taking a line, so you can give it like, if double like this, then maybe see here. So very easily can you see the comparison in between them. And for example, let's take it from -2 to 2 for better visualization. Now you see here, yeah, if you want it, you can take it from -0.5 to +0.5. Let's see it again. Yeah, and instead of taking 20 values, let's take 100 values for example. So you can see, okay, this is happening. Let's take only 10 values. Yeah, I hope that is clear. And instead of doing this, you can also take, suppose for example, cos x. Okay, let's take np dot cos x dot cos x. And now if I'm going to run this, and we need 100 values, this is like this. Okay, let's take from -20. Okay, -20 to 20. Okay, see, so very easily you can see that the plot for because you have written here R for x and y, that is for cos x, it's red color. So it simply gives you that red color graph is the cos x and the blue color graph is sin x. So now it is easy for you to make a comparison. I hope it's clear to you. It's very easy for you to make a comparison. You can also change the color, like if you write here green, so you can write here G. Okay, and let's run it again. So see here, now the color for the graph is green and the red. So when you have to plot multiple things together, then it's very easy, because different colors would make sense to differentiate in between them and to guess, okay, what's going on and how this comparison works. So that is where matplot library is very important for us. Okay, I hope it is clear. If here you can write, suppose I'm going to write here plus, then instead of a regular line, it will give you the plot in plus. Okay, here it doesn't make sense, but in most of the cases when you can you have to differentiate between the things, you can use it. Yeah, so this is all about matplot library. Okay, there is a few more things that I should add, but as soon as we'll progress in our course, we will study that later on. Okay, but for now it's okay. So now after the class, you can try taking like values like x cube. Because since you all are mathematics students, so you already know about the graphs. Like you can draw the graph for parabola as we draw for x cube. Okay, then you can also draw for like y square is equals to x. Everything you can draw here. So try making up different graphs so that you get familiar with this matplot library, and once we start with our numerical methods, you start using this over there, and it gives you pretty beautiful results to make a comparison in between them. Okay, so that's it for today's class. And tomorrow we are going to start with the bisection method. Do not forget, and please inform this to all your friends as well, that we are starting with the uh, bisection method. So all those who are interested, they can join. Okay, so that's it for today's class. Now we will be meeting tomorrow. I'll inform the time in the community so that you people already make a plan when to attend the class. So till then, bye bye, take care, and see you all tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.